You know what Sony had? The Holy Trinity. Leo, Brad, and Marco. Who do you have?
In 2025, a lot of podcasts were killing time. Shane and Lucien were killing podcasts. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Boy Party, the podcast that tackles cinema's most legendary team-ups. Films where two or more major stars share the screen and battle it out for screen time, top billing, the fatter paycheck, and the most acclaim.
My name is Shane Kelly, and I'm here joined today by a man who looks just like James Dean. Looks just like him.
I do. Lucien Wadley is here.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Badlands episode. If we're sounding a little on the sleepy side today, it's because yesterday we recorded our live 100th episode. Thank you so much to everyone who came along. It is going to drop in your feeds exactly 2 weeks from now. It was really fun. It was a celebration of everything this podcast has been up to this date, and also a discussion of one of the biggest, most iconic Boy Party movies ever. We're not revealing what that is. Everyone who was in the room knows, but you'll find out in 2 weeks. It was a lot of fun, and now we're exhausted as a result.
We are. We also went to an equally intense show later that night in the RDS.
With the same exact capacity of people in attendance.
Absolutely, same. But it was very interesting to be on the other side, being in the crowd.
Yeah, after our own major concert earlier in the day.
Yeah.
Lord Ultrasound Tour. I mean, this is 2 weeks ago when you're hearing this, but yeah, it was good fun. We love our New Zealand queen, Ella O'Connor. As she reminded everyone, she's Irish.
I couldn't understand what she was saying there.
Oh, she was like, "I'm an O'Connor."
Yeah,
I think everyone in New Zealand is probably Irish. Of every white New Zealander,
it's very jarring to hear her speak, and she has the New Zealand accent because it doesn't.
How she talks.
I know it's how she talks, but I don't think it comes through in the music. I think it's I have a similar relationship with Nicole Kidman when she's playing Americans. Then you hear her Australian accent, you're like,
okay, well, an actor is different.
An actor is different.
In the case of Lorde, I think her singing voice doesn't sound American. So I think there's certain singers where you're like, I don't know where you're from, but you're clearly from somewhere unusual. Whether that's someone from Scandinavia, like Zara Larsson or Sigrid, or whether it's Lorde, you're like, well, that's not an American singing voice. That's not a British singing voice. And I think that's probably why people respond well to Irish singers, because they have a slightly different thing going on as well. Like,
yeah, a little bit. Like
Sinead O'Connor, Dolores O'Riordan, the great female Irish singers have a certain unusual voice that I think American and British audiences are not used to. And I think I respond very well to that in Lorde's music. But yeah, I mean, being from New Zealand is a funny one. There's just very few famous people from New Zealand. Like, she's in an extremely small group. Like
Peter Jackson,
a couple of the people in his that orbit him.
A few rugby players. I don't know.
Rugby players, yeah. There's like one or two other musical artists, but like, it's a very weird, like, microculture, very much like Ireland, but I feel like with way less international success.
I think that's purely based on the geographical location.
It's just too far away.
There's not much you can do down there.
Because it seems really similar to Ireland in many ways. I say, having never been there. But I have lots of family who live there. And I think the vibe is that, like, if you can't live in Ireland, it's the next best thing.
Yeah, and you kind of have the weird Australia beside you, which is just their England.
Like, it's really similar. But they are so isolated that, like, only a certain class of people can ever afford to leave there, I guess, which is why it's so hard to find a famous New Zealander. But anyway, we're not talking about any famous New Zealanders today on the podcast.
But we are speaking about other famous Irish people.
We are indeed. Martin Sheen, a PhD graduate from NUIG.
Mr. Phelan.
Mr. Phelan?
Mr. Phelan.
Who's Phelan? His father?
His
mother.
I think it's Marianne Phelan from Barsacane, Tipperary.
So funny. So Martin Sheen's name, of course, is Ramon Gerard Antonio Estevez.
Yes.
And
classic Tipperary name.
He was born in Dayton, Ohio. His left arm was crushed by forceps. If you ever watched, have you ever watched the West Wing where he puts his jacket on?
Yeah,
he
kind
flips it over the back of his head. It's insane. I tried getting into that when I was 18. I was like, I'm going to put my jacket on.
You wanted to put your jacket on like Martin Sheen.
And it just makes you look like you have a severe disability, unfortunately. Yeah. So, as you said, his mother was Irish. She's from Barsacane. His maternal uncle, Michael Phelan, fought in the Irish Civil War as a volunteer in the anti-treaty IRA and was imprisoned in Kilmainham jail. She grew up in South Park in Dayton. But he did, of course, come back to... God, he had polio as a child. God, he was really unlucky. He's had a very difficult life in terms of health. Between the thing with the arm, his polio.
The MS,
and then,
obviously.
Well, yeah.
No.
But then, like, he had serious addiction issues as an adult, and he famously had a heart attack on the set of Apocalypse Now.
He did.
So he came back to Ireland then in 2000 and I'm going to say 2007, 2008. It was like right after The West Wing ended.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have a search here for Galway and see what comes up. And 2006, so it was right when The West Wing ended.
Yeah.
He moved to NUIG and, quote, he criticized Irish mushroom farmers for exploiting foreign workers by paying them as little as €2.50 an hour,
Jesus.
way below the country's then minimum wage of $7.65.
That right.
Bizarre. That's so weird.
How did he figure that out?
Like, that's so weird that he honed in on that issue. He's absolutely right, but what a weird issue to hone in on. He was living in Galway for a year, and I walked past him once on Shop Street, and my parents were like, "There's Martin Sheen."
That's crazy.
He definitely did like a masterclass at the Galway Film Flat.
Do we know where he lived at the time?
No. Where do you think Martin Sheen was living in Galway?
I have some
Taylor's Hill?
strange image in my head that he has some relationship to the Galleon in Salt Hill.
Yeah, he does, because Lauren and Grace sat beside him in the Galleon.
Okay,
and Salt
never
Hill.
mind.
There's
I
an
wasn't like,
anecdote
oh, he lives above the Galleon
No,
or something.
you've heard an
okay.
anecdote.
I've heard an anecdote about
The
it.
Conways were sitting beside him.
Yeah.
And one of them, or I think maybe Karen said, "Shh, that's Martin Sheen, the actor." And I think Grace went, Where's Martin Sheen?" or something. And Martin Sheen turned around looking grumpy about it.
She would have been 10.
Yeah.
10 or 12.
One of them will text in to correct us. But
Yes.
that's roughly what I remember the story being, which is very funny.
But he was down to study theology or something?
Something like that.
Yeah.
He's a very, very religious person.
Yeah.
In like a very interesting
Academic
old-fashioned left-wing way.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but in like a left-wing socialist way. Like he's like real like American Catholic. I guess he's sort of a Joe Biden Catholic, where
Sure.
his Catholicism seems driven by, and I'm not really comparing him to Joe Biden, but his Catholicism seems driven by like helping the poor and this kind of trade unionist mentality,
Right, yeah.
rather than like
Purity
purity and conservatism. He's not particularly conservative person, obviously. In fact, quite the opposite.
Did he visit the West Wing hotel / restaurant in Tuam?
I have to assume yes.
I don't know if
It would be
just
really
made that
crazy
up.
if he hadn't.
Yeah.
Well, like, it just seems like a no-brainer that in his year in Galway, he would go to the West Wing restaurant. Do you think there's any chance that he went to the restaurant
and they named it then?
Potentially.
Potentially.
I think they've changed the name of that restaurant recently.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but I don't think it's called the West Wing anymore. But anyway, he came back then he was doing English literature, philosophy. It wasn't theology.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe, I'm on NUIG's website now. Martin Sheen, among first to register as a student. Oh, I mean, one of the first people that year to register as a student.
Okay.
English literature, philosophy, and oceanography.
Okay.
He was among the first of 15,000 students who registered. Imagine being at the, they take the big photo of all the freshers outside Galway Maximum. Imagine Martin Sheen's there at the front. That'd be gas.
Did he come to an undergrad?
No, I don't think so.
Some research master's.
I don't know what he did. He was also doing some stuff at the Houston Film School, the Irish Center for Human Rights. He had gotten an honorary doctorate before he went to study. Right. So he got an honorary degree, and then he went back to
give me the real thing.
Get the real thing.
Yeah.
That's interesting. God, that's so funny.
I wonder if he had to pay fees.
Martin Sheen. I don't think he had to pay fees. I would say that his fees were either waived entirely or were like covered by the American embassy or something as a PR thing. Because that's great promotion to have Martin Sheen hanging out in Galway for a year. But yeah, I'm kind of sad I've never like properly met Martin Sheen. Like talk to him, because I feel like that's a very easy thing that could have been achieved within my life. And now he's very old. He'll probably die in the next couple of years, and it'll be like, damn, I could have met Martin Sheen. I didn't. He's 85.
Yeah.
But he's looking great. He's looking really, really healthy for an 85-year-old who had addiction issues and had a heart attack like in his 30s, 20s, whatever. Obviously, that's the kind of incident that prompts someone to just turn their life around completely. I mean, we've got Dick Van Dyke turning 100 next month, and he was an alcoholic for years. So it's amazing.
Cause and effect.
What these people can do. But today we're discussing Badlands. Martin Sheen and Sissy Spacek in Terence Malick's first film. This ranks very highly for me in terms of best debut film.
Oh, yeah.
Like, very unusual that I would consider someone's debut film to be their best film, but I absolutely do feel that way about Badlands. I think.
This is so confident in what it's doing that it doesn't kind of backtrack or throw in kind of soft landing tricks to make it more accessible.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like insanely focused and efficient and short, and like does not waste time, killing people. But like it's weird, and it kind of gives you little snatches of all of the shit that Terence Malick is interested in. It's going to crop up later in his career, especially like animals and trees and birds. And you're like, I'm going to see what is kind of pitched to me as a conventional
kind of runaway romance.
Yeah, young lovers on the run, murder, romance thing. And then it turns into, in certain patches, very, very weird natural world kind of thing. And what clicked for us watching it, I think, this time was the influence on Wes Anderson and on Moonrise Kingdom, and on the way that the outside locations in that are used, and how the lovers in various spots are kind of like more interested in like the wildlife than in the drama and the excitement.
Yeah, and like Jared, what's young Moonrise boy? Gilman,
yeah.
He carries the gun and everything in the Moonrise
yeah.
Like it's incredible how
And
much of the lines.
the music in this is very, very similar. There's pieces by Carl Orff on the soundtrack, which I think have probably been used in Wes Anderson films, if not specifically Moonrise Kingdom. But it gives it this eerie but very pleasant vibe of like, you know, like children's choir singing and like weird classical music and like old-fashioned instruments, rather than like a thriller score, which I really, really like.
And all the dialogue is doing the kind of Wes Anderson thing of, it's very explicit, not like explicit, but it's very bland and it's very blunt.
Yeah.
It's very blunt. There's no kind
I'm
of
going down the road now.
I'm going down the road, and she's okay.
It'd probably be a really boring screenplay to read.
Yeah,
on paper. But it's given life by like the sound design and cinematography and the incredible presence of both of these actors.
Yeah.
Malick-wise, his next film, he gets Ennio Morricone to do the score, which is nuts. Days of Heaven just has an incredible, incredible score. I found Days of Heaven a tough one to watch when I was like, I probably saw it when I was like 14, and I found it a bit dull. I need to go back and see it again. It's kind of like this, but it's much more, honestly, it's more like Train Dreams.
Yeah.
It's like big house in the middle of the woods, and there's a lot of farming going on, and Richard Gere is in it. But I know many people for whom that would be the best Malick film.
Yeah. I think, I was thinking about this relative to something like Train Dreams, where Train Dreams kind of tries a bit too hard to give you the answers. I think the last 10 minutes of him in the airplane and the voiceover being like, he is finally connected.
And the flashbacks to the fucking,
flashbacks and all that.
God, I mean, what did that even remind? What did we see recently where something had like it's like the shitty voiceover in Worst Person in the World that drives me so insane. Where it's the one moment in that film that I hate. I've talked about this before in this podcast. After she breaks up with Anders, and the voiceover comes in and goes, "That was the moment that Julia knew she had made the right decision." And I'm like, no, this is bad. Like Train Dreams has a lot of that.
There was definitely something else we watched recently where it was a 90-minute film, and it had a recap montage of everything that happened in the 90 minutes at the end of it.
Yes, I can't remember what it was. It's so silly. And Terence Malick would never dream of that. No. In fact, he goes too much in the opposite direction.
Yeah, the voiceover in this actually very much works because it's kind of an internal monologue of Sissy Spacek rather than
it's very
an overbearing narrator telling you what's going on.
Yes, it's not the voice of God.
No,
looking into someone's private thoughts. Like
this is much more like No Country for Old Men.
Yes, and it's really good because Sissy Spacek in the film is really quiet and like is basically kind of subservient to this confident guy who thinks he's got everything figured out, and she kind of just sits there smiling, being like, "Okay, whatever you think."
Yeah, it is a weird relationship in that there's no conflict in it at all.
Yeah, because he's just leading her by the hand around doing stuff, and she's got this certain kind of maturity to her, but I think mostly a naivete that makes her, I suppose, like the lesser adult in the situation.
Yeah, like she's playing a 15-year-old.
Yeah, he is a nonce in this.
Yeah, it's 25 and 15, but
it's nonce cinema, folks. But you know what?
What are you gonna do?
It's hardly a glamorization. They're killing people constantly.
No. And to be honest, there's absolutely nothing
sexual going on
in this at all. No. It functions like Moonrise Kingdom.
Exactly.
In that there is nothing sexual.
It's a weird, like they're living out a fantasy of how they feel bored people should escape their circumstances.
Yeah, like Martin Sheen's character seems kind of very interested in this kind of hermit lifestyle on the run, and Yeah, there's a couple of scenes of them. Like, he pulls the car over in the middle of the night at one point because it's not Otis Redding. Who's
playing on the radio?
Someone's playing on the radio. Nat King Cole is on the radio.
King Cole,
and they get out and they waltz.
Yes.
And it's that's kind of the height of the intimacy between them.
And I don't know, does it end on a note where we're meant to be like, oh, what a great romance, that was beautiful? I don't know, a little bit, but like,
not really.
If you compare it to Wild at Heart,
which
is like very similar.
Another
setup,
driving around, running away movie.
That is like powered by this like aggressive sense of like these people are so horny for each other.
Yeah,
this does not have that.
No,
at
it's
all.
complete
At all.
opposite.
It's a complete opposite. It's like, I don't think they really know what they're doing. They should probably just go home. Yeah. But they can't go home because her father has literally been killed at the start of the film
by Martin Sheen,
and she's such a little bird person. Like she looks like a bird. She is pirouetting with a what's it called?
A baton.
When she's first shown in the first few minutes of the film. And you're like, oh yes, the baton twirler child. Yes. This is the female lead of my killing people on the run movie.
Nicolas Cage killed someone at the beginning of Wild at Heart.
He kills the guy at the party. Yeah,
just a random.
Yeah.
Someone starts a
bounty
hunter.
Yeah, it's a bounty hunter. Yeah, and that's when the mother is screaming at him. Yeah.
Yes.
I might just watch Wild at Heart again this week.
Yeah. This does take a fun kind of pivot for the last 20 minutes where Martin Sheen does get arrested.
Yes.
And all the police love him.
Yeah. He's just, no, it's the army, right? He's just, he's standing on the wing of a plane, handcuffed to it.
Yeah.
And all of the police or military guys are standing around
asking
in a circle.
questions.
Yeah, asking, going like, and what was it like when you shot that man? He's like, well, it was an interesting experience.
And then he's like, oh, we got to take you away now. He's like, all right, boys, be good.
Yeah. No, he's a bit of like a Coen Brothers kind of Clooney character.
Yeah. It's really funny. It's and then he's like smiling for the last 20 minutes of it.
It's great.
Sissy Spacek looks pretty dour at this point.
She does. She's been flown away in a helicopter.
Yeah, I think ultimately he gets a bit of jail. I think she gets punished a little bit as well, or something.
She does. She's in handcuffs.
She's in handcuffs, yeah. So she's somewhat responsible.
She's been completely involved in all of the murdering that's been going on. So
I mean, I feel like as a 15-year-old, you could claim.
Yes, there's a good case that she was there against her will or whatever. Yeah, interesting. But yeah, Terence Malick has these two huge breakout movies, 1973, 1978, and then at that exact moment he becomes one of Hollywood's great enigmas, and he does not make another film for 20 years. There is like no equivalent to this. I guess Jonathan Glazer. I'm trying to think of people. Todd Field. People who leave like 10 plus year gap.
Yeah.
Like obviously, okay, James Cameron's kind of different because he's like, everyone knows what he's up to.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I guess Todd Field and Jonathan Glazer both had like 10-ish year gaps just now, and then they came back with complete bangers.
Yeah.
But that's what Malick did. He waited 20 years to make another film.
20 years.
By which point there had been a complete generational turnover in terms of the actors he'd be working with.
Yeah, it went from 75 to 95.
Yeah, insane. Thin Red Line comes out in 1998, which is a great film. It is a World War II movie that is unfortunately released the same year as Saving Private Ryan. And it really suffers as a result. And it kind of creates a mini culture war. At least this is how my parents tell it, who are huge Malick heads and even bigger Spielberg haters, is that there was kind of a mini culture war at the time of like the poor man's Thin Red Line and the rich, or like other way around, you know, like as in the Chad Thin Red Line fan and the dweeb Spielberg fanboys.
Was it going that way or was it going the other way?
Oh, I don't know which way, but let's say one of them got all the Oscars, and one of them was kind of a bomb.
Yeah.
But was the secret masterpiece. And I think that that probably did affect Malick's career going forward, that he had created actually a very expensive, big scale movie, and then it was immediately overshadowed by the fucking boss man himself, Spielberg, and it's just like, that sucks. Then Red Line has an insane cast. I don't think you know how many guys are in this movie. It's a nuts ensemble.
I know it's a Brody.
This is the cast of Thin Red Line. Sean Penn, Adrian Brody, Jim Caviezel, George Clooney, John Cusack, Woody Harrelson, Jared Leto, Elias Koteas, Tim Blake Nelson, Nick Nolte, John C. Reilly, John Savage, John Travolta. Several people were cut out of the movie entirely, including Mickey Rourke, Bill Pullman, Lucas Haas, Donald Logue. Travolta's only in it for about 30 seconds. Thomas Jane, Miranda Otto, Mark Boone Jr. That movie's nuts. It starts
crazy.
trend where Terence Malick famously has absolutely no reservations about cutting famous people out of his movies. And he continues to do this till today. He will shoot a film. He will shoot 100 million hours of footage.
He's one of those types.
And then he will go into the edit for 7 years, and he will come out with a film that is completely different to what they shot. And he'll be like, well, he won't say anything because he's a fucking recluse. But somebody will be, Natalie Portman, or I'm just making up examples here. But Jessica Chastain in one of his films, I can't remember which one, came out and was like, yeah, I was meant to be in that. He cut all my footage. That's okay, though. It was nice to be on set.
I went on set for 2 months.
Yeah, and I think Travolta maybe had a little bit of that in Thin Red Line, and Clooney, where they just ended up being in it very little.
It's very frustrating.
It's very frustrating. It's frustrating as an audience member who likes those actors, but it's a great case of like, he always gets what he wants. And he's got the final cut.
And now you can kind of make an exception for that when you're only making one film every 20 years. You're like, all right, fine, whatever.
Yeah. But like the studio's not stopping him, and I really respect that.
No,
like,
but it's incredible he got that level of oversight on his third film.
I know, it's insane, and that movie's not cheap. But again, it's a war movie that is like all about the natural world. We talked about it on 21 Grams.
Yeah,
it's really good. I'd recommend everyone watch The Thin Red Line. We must watch it again soon. And Hans Zimmer's score for The Thin Red Line. Everyone has heard and doesn't realize.
Okay.
It's one of like the iconic Zimmer scores that people forget about, where it'll be used in trailers, it's used in car ads. It's the Thin Red Line score. It's probably the most lasting thing about that film. 8 years till his next film, and then he does The New World, which is about sort of Christopher Columbus era exploration of America with Colin Farrell and Christian Bale. I haven't seen that since it came out. I did watch it with my dad very young, and I thought it was very hard to get into. Like, Terence Malick movies are not for children. Unfortunately, I saw most of them when I was very young, so some of them I didn't really know what to do with. The other funny thing I'm noticing here is that every single film of his is with a different studio. Nobody funded him more than once. Badlands is Warner, Heaven is Paramount, Thin Red Line is Fox, New World is New Line. It's hilarious. Then 6-year gap, and then he comes out with The Tree of Life, which is probably his most commercially successful film, or like at least in terms of, it made $61 million, but it was nominated for Best Picture.
Sorry, $61 million for The Tree of Life.
I know, which is
pretty fucking
it's
good.
It's an experimental film.
Yeah.
Like, it is a big budget experimental art film with Brad Pitt, Sean Penn, and Jessica Chastain.
I remember we put on 20 minutes of it once in rural Sligo, and then we were like, nah, it's been on Buster Scruggs. That just came out.
No, I think we had already abandoned Buster Scruggs because we had Falling Asleep, and then we abandoned Thin Red Line. I'm pretty sure we put on National Treasure.
Did we?
I think that was the night that we turned off.
We were very tired.
We were very tired. We've been traveling all day.
Yeah.
But Malick gets a Best Director nomination, and it gets nominated for Best Picture. I, for many years, would have told you The Tree of Life was like 1-star garbage.
Yeah.
I haven't really revisited it since I saw it. I hated it when I was 13, 14. I owe it another chance. It's something I may connect with later in life. But it wasn't for me at the time. And then To the Wonder is a year later, which is Ben Affleck, Rachel McAdams, Olga Kurylenko, Javier Bardem. Quite like that film. It's a lot of prancing around in fields, very much like the Malick that people take the piss out of. But I think Ben Affleck's actually a really good Terence Malick leading man, because he's got such a baffled look on his face the entire time. He's kind of perfect for this world. And then Knight of Cups, which is one of the worst titles ever, I've never seen, but it's Christian Bale in what people often describe as live-action BoJack Horseman. He is stumbling around Austin, Texas during South by Southwest. Arcade Fire in that movie. Patti Smith. Lots and lots of real-life musicians play themselves. And he plays some sort of record executive or something.
Bit of a Happy Gilmore 2 situation.
Yeah, exactly. And then he does a documentary called Voyage of Time about space with Cate Blanchett narrating. Song to Song, dreadful film. This is Fassbender, Gosling, Portman, Rooney Mara, about music industry. Again, it's kind of a sister companion movie to Knight of Cups. I really, really did not like that film when I saw it. And then in 2019, he had like a little bit of a bounce back with a World War II movie that I've never seen called A Hidden Life, which I believe is either in Polish or in German, and is about a Matthias Schoenhertz, Michael Nifkist are in it. It's about an Austrian farmer who refuses to join the Nazis in World War II. People love that film. I did not see it. It's 3 hours long. But it did pop up on a lot of people's best films of 2019 lists. There was a sense that I think it was better than the previous few films. And now he's currently holding on with dear life to his finished project of The Way of the Wind, which was shot years ago and no one has seen.
Right.
And this is a Jesus movie starring Joseph Fiennes as Jesus Christ, Mark Rylance as Satan, but also in the cast, weirdly, are like a bunch of Irish actors, including Aidan Turner, Martin McCann, and Sarah Green. And I had a conversation with Martin McCann about 2 years ago, and I'm so annoyed I never asked him about the Terence Malick movie. If I meet any of those three people in the next year, I'm going to ask them about it. This is just, he's been sitting on this one now for a number of years, and he's a very old man. I am worried that it will not get released in his lifetime. And then, obviously, the fear there is that either it doesn't come out at all, or it gets hacked to bits by some other fucker, and you get, like, Terence Malick movie recut by X. Now, I suppose maybe he could designate a filmmaker that he admires to take over if he dies. But I don't think he's gonna do that. I think he wants that film to die with him. I think they're gonna. I think if Terence Malick dies tomorrow, they're burying The Way of the Wind. Yeah. I mean, the chances of it being like a really great movie are probably pretty low anyway. But
no, you said Terence is almost never seen in public.
Almost never seen in public. He's weirdly mysterious. He is in Badlands. He pops up at the door of the rich guy's house and is like, well, hello, I'm here for a visit. And you're like, that's so weird for a guy who I've like never heard speak in the last 30 years. Mm-hmm. He was, I think he lectures a little bit. So he does like appear, but he doesn't like appear where there's photographers around. Mm-hmm. And I remember.
Friend of the show, Owen Dobie, saw him in the Galleon in Salt Hill. And went, that's Terence Malick. Yeah, exactly. And he looked over very grumpy.
Yes. I remember though, about 10 years ago, there was a very funny day where TMZ photographers took some pictures of, took a video of Benicio del Toro leaving a bar somewhere, and just Terence Malick was with him. Yeah. And it was just like, oh, there's Terence Malick. They caught him by mistake.
Terence Malick is in the Underground Revolution.
Yes, exactly. He probably is.
A few small beers.
Who knows what he's up to? And he, again, I think, given the themes of his films, is probably got an interesting relationship with religion. Like, I don't know what he does. Maybe he's at church all the time. I honestly don't know anything about him. He... It says, while the perception of him as a recluse is inaccurate, he is famously protective of his private life. He stipulates that his likeness may not be used for promotional purposes. He declines requests for interviews. Like, he doesn't go to the Oscars and stuff. He hides out. Like, he lives in Austin, Texas. So he's off in another world. He's married to his high school sweetheart, Eki Wallace. That sounds like a character from this film.
Yeah.
Anyway, Martin Sheen, Sissy Spacek are two young stars here. Both go on to become very iconic older actors, and obviously Sissy Spacek is in cinemas now in the movie Die My Love, which features scenes of her stumbling around in the fields with a gun at night. That really, to me, just felt like Lynn Ramsey being like, I might do a bit of Badlands fanfic for the crack. Like her and cinematographer Seamus McGarvey.
Like, she has like does she have a dead husband she's always thinking about or something? Or is he in the film?
I found the familial relationships in Die My Love entirely incoherent. What was her relationship to either of those people? What was Nick Nolte's relationship to either of those people? I have no idea what was going on.
Sissy Spacek is Robert Pattinson's mother.
Was she? She was Robert Pattinson's mother. Who was Nick Nolte?
So, yeah.
Who was Nick Nolte?
Pattinson's grandfather? I don't know.
No. Nick Nolte's the same age as Sissy Spacek. He is either her brother or her husband or Jennifer Lawrence's uncle. I have absolutely no idea. And you know what? Now is not the time to figure that out.
No, well, like if we're going based on how you would make a film about a hysterical woman, what would annoy her more is probably her husband's family.
Yes.
Rather than her own family.
Yes.
And that would stress her out more.
Yes.
So we'll assume Nick Nolte is Pattinson's father.
Okay. That was, completely incoherent. I did not care for that film, neither did you, but It was whatever. It was a fucking chance to see Sissy Spacek in a cinema, which is nice. The last
no surnames on the cast.
The last significant role she had in a theatrically released film was that I can recall was in The Old Man and the Gun, which was really nice, which was her and Redford, and basically just half that film is Redford robbing banks with Tom Waits and Danny Glover, and then the other half is him just flirting with Sissy Spacek in a diner while the most beautiful score you've ever heard plays. So everyone should check out Old Man and the Gun. She is great in that. I would have given her a supporting actress nomination for that 100%. But she's also like popping up in stuff, like she was in a weird TV show called The Midnight Sky or something along those lines with J.K. Simmons about like a couple who discovers like a space portal in their back garden or something.
Okay.
It was like an old person sci-fi show. She played Michelle Williams' mother on Dying for Sex, which was phenomenal casting. I think Sissy Spacek as Michelle Williams' mother is
really good,
all-time great casting. She was also in. There's some other TV shows she was in the last couple of years. I'm not sure, but she was kind of. She gets brought into stuff as like recognizable older woman character, one step below your like, I don't know, Mary Steenburgens or whatever. Like, for example, Four Christmases, she's with the mother in that.
Oh, she is. Yeah.
And The Help, she's the grandmother in The Help. And there was a couple of decades where she was constantly being kind of brought in as like the third or fourth person in those kinds of like female ensemble movies. Now, she's fantastic, and she got an Oscar nomination in Todd Field's movie, In the Bedroom, where her and Tom Wilkinson are the parents in that. And then
that's a fun pair.
Yeah. And we recently saw her in Home at the End of the World, where she plays the mother in that, which is a really fantastic role. And Colin Farrell's character like bonds with her because he's
she does. Sorry.
His family has all died.
I did watch this like 6 months ago.
Yeah, she's the mother of the well-adjusted guy, and he's like, we watched it about 2 months ago.
2 months ago.
She's wonderful in that. She has great dynamic with Colin Farrell in that.
They're a fun pair.
First thing I ever saw Sissy Spacek in was an episode of The Waltons. I'm gonna try and find out what that episode was called, because I was so struck by her. She like, in a respectful way, she kind of looks like a bird. In a slightly ruder way, she kind of looks like a skeleton. She has like skeleton face.
Do you know who else looks like a bird?
Who?
Young girl in Moonrise Kingdom.
Yes, Cara Hayward. Yes, she does.
She's a raven.
I think she was in The Waltons the same year as Badlands. Yeah, she was. So that's a really fun breakout role. She's in The Townie and The
I thought
Odyssey.
she was a child in The Waltons.
No, she's same age as this.
Oh.
Sarah Jane Simmons. Like, she doesn't play one of the Waltons. She is a love interest for John Boy that is introduced for 1 or 2 episodes. I was very struck by her. I remember my parents making a big deal out of being like, and Sissy Spacek is in this episode, and she is a legend. And I was like, ooh, who is this? This is a fascinating looking person. Waltons is the greatest show ever, guys. You should all watch it. Between Waltons and West Wing, you're covered here with these two guys. But she is lovely in that. And then I'm like, is there anything else between that and obviously her most iconic role, which is in Brian De Palma's Carrie. She is Carrie, and she goes, ah! Can you remember who they cast as the Carrie in the remake in 2013?
Oh. Should I be able to remember?
Well, what teen girl star was big in 2013 that was going to play Carrie in a shitty Lionsgate remake?
Teen girl star in 2013. Were they like a Disney child?
No, it's Chloe Grace Moretz.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. I'd say that would have been improved 20% if Elle Fanning had done it.
Sure.
2 years later, maybe.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the remake, though. The original is great, and Sissy Spacek is part of what makes it great. I have, unfortunately, never seen one of her other most beloved films, which is Robert Altman's Three Women, which I should have watched in the lead up to this. That is, who are the three women? It's her, it's Shelley Duvall, and it's Janice Rule. I need to watch that. That sounds great. And she is Brendan Fraser's mother in Blast from the Past, and she is Jack Lemmon's wife in Missing, and I think that's kind of all the Sissy Spacek roles. She's in JFK, and of course she's in David Lynch's The Straight Story.
Yes,
where she plays the intellectually challenged daughter of the Farnsworth character in a performance that I would say is probably Marmite with people. It's not the most subtle performance of a person with an intellectual disability,
right?
But I think you can tell that her as an actress is doing it with a lot of sensitivity because that's how she does everything. But it's probably the part of that movie that is like the toughest to like get into the headspace of. But
I haven't seen that, but I didn't realize there was that element of it. I thought it was a real kind of lone man.
No, she has like a very specific way of speaking in it, and she's kind of calling up her father, worried about him and stuff. Yeah. So that's Sissy Spacek. Martin Sheen, obviously, career benchmarked by 2 very significant parts, which is Apocalypse Now and The West Wing. And there's a lot of stuff in between. He plays Benjamin Willard in Apocalypse Now. You've never seen Apocalypse Now, have you?
I have not.
Well,
I feel like that's something I have to wait for it to come around in the cinema.
I think you got to see it in the cinema. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
So I've heard.
Yeah, 6 years after this. It's a tough one to get through. I do think you have to kind of force yourself to be locked into a cinema to watch it, because it's not really a pleasurable watch. But
nice noon screening on a Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. It almost killed him. They were shooting out in the jungle. Obviously, you can watch Hearts of Darkness to learn about all the terrible things that happened when they were making Apocalypse Now. It almost killed Coppola. It almost killed Martin Sheen. He is great in that. I mean, Marlon Brando is the biggest face on the poster, and obviously is that movie's like number one biggest name. But Brando famously does not show up until the latter part of that movie. Martin Sheen does carry it until then. I haven't seen him in a lot of stuff from the 70s and 80s. Really, he kind of shifts a little bit into doing crap in the 80s. Like he's not really in a lot of great films for a lot of time.
Well, as we've established before, nothing good came out in the 80s anyway. So.
Yeah, exactly. Like I've only seen him in one movie from the 80s, and it's Wall Street, which is his son's movie, where he is just kind of cleverly cast as the dad. Yeah. He's in a couple of movies with his sons.
He looks old in Wall Street.
He does. It's crazy. He aged a lot. I think that was the alcoholism. Yeah. He aged a huge amount between the 70s and the 80s. His sons are not that much. They're not that far behind him in when their careers break out, which is weird because obviously they're kind of both teen stars. So like by the time it gets to the mid 80s, Charlie and Emilio are the leading men, and Martin kind of has to occupy a space as like old man actor / father to the two of them, which is tough for a guy who I assume was only in his 40s at that point. So he plays the dad in Wall Street, and obviously that movie has an interesting kind of class thing in it where Charlie is going to work for the big banker, big dick Michael Douglas, and Martin Sheen is like a mechanic or something. He's like a tradesman, blue collar guy.
But I think he wants to like set up his own airline or something.
Yes, but there's a bit of a tragedy to it of like, my dad's a schmuck, he's a failure, I'm going to work for this cool guy. And Gecko establishes a paternal.
Sorry, did we do Wall Street in the podcast?
No, but we talked about Douglas.
We did.
We watched it for that. Yeah. But anyway, I haven't seen him in anything else then until JFK. Which he's the narrator. He's doesn't even appear in that. He's in so much garbage. Oh my god! Like he's in Gettysburg with Jeff Daniels. Like I'm looking here, there's not a lot of good movies in here. It's crazy. He has a supporting role in the movie The American President in 1995, which is written by Aaron Sorkin, and is effectively a pilot for The West Wing as a feature film, starring Michael Douglas as the president.
Oh, very good.
And the premise of that movie is that the president is widowed and he gets a girlfriend played by Annette Bening. And it's like, what if the American president had to date a woman?
Madam Girlfriend,
exactly. God, you're right. It's pretty much the same idea as Longshot. And Martin Sheen plays like, I don't know, the chief of staff in that or something, which obviously 4 years later leads to him being cast in The West Wing. But like, it's weird. I feel like him being cast in The West Wing nowadays, you're like, oh man, they got Martin Sheen for that role. It's like, I think Martin Sheen needed that show more than the show needed him.
Probably.
I mean, the names that were tossed around for the president in The West Wing, you see, it's like Sidney Poitier and shit. So Martin Sheen is kind of a B-list person to get for that. And he is obviously like gets the and on the credits, and he kind of pops up in every episode for roughly, I would say, 10 minutes with some exceptions. There are episodes of The West Wing in which he is the lead, but like for most episodes of The West Wing, you're kind of looking at stories that are based around
his
Sam,
staff,
or Josh, or CJ, or Toby, and the president kind of weaves in and out of what's going on. And you're like, I don't know how much time Martin Sheen spent on set every week, but he's part of the ensemble. And like the best episodes of The West Wing genuinely are the episodes where Martin Sheen is the center of everything.
Well, that's generally because the show kind of builds
Stakes build up, yeah.
Stakes build up until, okay, fine, the president has to get involved now and take over.
And like, but the president's like internal struggles are the most interesting thing in the show.
Yeah.
And the best episode of the show, by some distance, in my opinion, as I think is the consensus, is Two Cathedrals, which is the episode where the president has to deliberate whether he's going to reveal his MS diagnosis to the world. And he basically has a crisis of faith, and he goes to a church and he talks to God, and it's incredible, like metaphysical shit.
I did watch this about 2 weeks ago.
You watched Two Cathedrals 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Are you just watching the show in the background?
Catherine's watching it, friend of the show.
Oh, how far did you get?
I watched like 6 episodes of season 2. Okay. And like Pierce has been watching it in the house, so I'm kind of picking it up piece by piece.
So you watched Two Cathedrals without
I saw like the 4
before
episodes leading up to it.
What did you think of it?
It's great.
I mean, it's a great episode. It's like fucking, it's like the type of TV we love. Like, it's like oh, the greatest.
No, it's incredibly funny to watch given recent events in the real world.
Why?
Just with
Biden
and all
of
that.
course. Yeah.
And you're kind of like, no, don't run for president. You're sick.
Joe Biden really ruined President Bartlett forever. He's too similar. Joe Biden is like the exact person to demonstrate why The West Wing is bullshit. It's like, yeah, we got this Irish Catholic Democrat old man. This is what you wanted, folks. Yeah. And he was an absolute fucking goon. Like, I mean, stupid people will be like, why didn't Martin Sheen run for president? If you think Martin Sheen should get involved in electoral politics, you are the stupidest fucking person in the entire world who can't tell the difference between a TV president and a real president.
Sure.
The Bob Odenkirk character in the fucking Long Shot is an example of that.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Let's let Kevin Spacey be president. Like, Jesus Christ. Ugh. Anyway. And like, I don't know. He's in Catch Me If You Can. Like, that's the thing. Post West Wing, he gets supporting roles in real movies.
Yeah.
Catch Me If You Can. The Departed. He's in his son's movie, Bobby. He comes back to Ireland and he makes a movie called Stella Days about a guy who opens a cinema in Ireland. He plays Uncle Ben in The Amazing Spider-Man. He is, like, unfortunately not really able to compete with Cliff Robertson, who's so good in the Maguire movies, but he is pretty good. I mean, he's like, he's good in those movies. And then Selma, he's in. He has like a really weird part in the, what's it called? The Judas and the Black Messiah, where he plays J. Edgar Hoover with like crazy prosthetics. Right. And there's one shot of him in the trailer for that. And I remember being like, is that Martin Sheen? What the fuck? He was on that show, Grace and Frankie, for like 7 seasons on Netflix with Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin. And the premise of that show is such an insane premise for a show. The premise of that show is that Jane Fonda is married to Martin Sheen and Lily Tomlin is married to Sam Waterston from Newsroom.
Or why am I not watching this? This sounds fantastic.
It's terrible. Or the other way around. I can't remember. The 2 husbands become gay lovers with each other, and then the 2 women like move in together just as an act of defiance and hang out. It is such a good setup for a show. What a great quartet of actors. It is created by one of the Friends creators. Yeah. It is very, very bad. It is not funny. It is boring. It is for people in their 80s. I found it incredibly hard to watch.
Is it like one of these fixed cam sitcoms?
No, it's not. It's not. To be fair, it's a single camera show. They move around. There's mute. There's a score. It's not like garbage.
It's not Big Bang Theory like.
No, it's not shot on a set. Like, but it's just really bad. Like, I don't know.
Is there a laugh track?
No, I'm telling you, it's a single camera show. Yeah. If I was dying in a hospice, maybe I would watch Grace and Frankie start to finish. But right now, I feel like life is too short for Grace and Frankie. Sure. I've given it a few chances, but it's great that those 4 actors who all come from the Aaron Sorkin world. Yeah, you've got 2 Newsroom and 2 West Wing actors because Lily Tomlin's in the West Wing. And then they couldn't make something great. It's such a shame. They could have been in a really great show together. But he hasn't been in a movie since Judas and the Black Messiah. He's in his son's stupid Charlie Sheen documentary that came out this year, and that's so I don't know. He's kind of winding down. Clearly, I mean, if someone wants to give Martin Sheen one last great leading role, go for it. But like the last couple of leading role movies that Martin Sheen has had were all straight to fucking fridge movies. So like I wouldn't, so I wouldn't be holding out hope he's going to come out with anything amazing.
And like, do you think the kind of notoriety of his sons have kind of kept him in the public consciousness a bit more than he might have?
Are they good for him or have they been bad for him? Yeah. Like, I think, generally speaking, if your son is known to be a drug-addicted sex pest, it makes you look like a shitty parent. Yeah. But, on the other hand, I think Martin Sheen has demonstrated about as much care and compassion for his child. You know what? There's a lot of similarities there with Joe Biden and his kids. Joe Biden with his kind of one son who was like the great noble son who died, and then the other son who's a fuck up. And you know, I always like the way Joe. This is but so also, I think irrelevant to Martin Sheen. But like, one of my favorite things about Joe Biden is the way he talks about Hunter Biden. Yeah, where he's like non-judgmental, caring father to his son who has a lot of problems. Yes. If Martin Sheen's relationship with Charlie is comparable to that, then I think that reflects very well on Martin Sheen as a caring, kind father. Yeah. However, you do have to ask yourself, how did his parenting lead Charlie to that point?
But I might be wrong here, but I'm kind of under the impression that Charlie only went off the rails kind of once he got to his 30s, and when he was younger, he was kind of fine.
Yeah, I guess so.
And like at that point, it's not really a parenting issue. Yeah,
but Martin had his own addiction issues.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe it's in the family. Emilio is like harmless, but just kind of not very interesting. Yeah. Anyway, Sissy Spacek won an Oscar 1980, Coal Miner's Daughter, which is a kind of an early example of someone winning for a music biopic. Yeah. It is a Michael Apted movie about Loretta Lynn. I mean, that's just like the least interesting thing Sissy Spacek could possibly have won an Oscar for. But she has 6 total nominations, which is pretty impressive. And then Martin Sheen. I couldn't tell you now off the dome if Martin Sheen has ever gotten an Oscar nomination. I'm assuming that he has. Give me 1 second. Martin Sheen never nominated for an Oscar.
No
Wow. That is crazy. He must be he's in the top tier of legendary actors who never got an Oscar nomination, like with Donald Sutherland and people like that. John Goodman. That's insane.
Does he have any Emmys?
Oh, he has three Emmys. Funnily enough, none of them are for The West Wing.
No way. All Grace and Frankie.
He was submitted as lead for West Wing. And the other guys for supporting. He's an easier guy.
He's the definitive.
He's the president.
Isolated thing. Yeah.
No one in the West Wing is a lead. I mean, you could probably make a case for Rob Lowe in season 1, but otherwise that show is split 5-6 ways. He was also nominated for an Emmy in 2006 for guest actor for the 2.5 Men episodes that he appeared in.
Oh, jeez.
And he won 1 Golden Globe for The West Wing in 2000. Funny. So, well done. He won loads of SAG awards. Oh no, those are all ensemble. God, okay. Honorary accolade.
Good photo.
Good photo of him walking around NUIG.
Quad and NUIG.
I think it's safe to assume Martin Sheen won't be getting an Oscar before he dies, which is a pity. Maybe they'll give him an honorary one. Who knows? They just gave Tom Cruise one. Anything is possible. Right. Letterboxd top 4 game. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to guess Imogen Poots, Zach Braff, or Lewis Pullman?
Ooh.
Give
me Imogen Poots.
All right.
She's got something coming up.
These all have Badlands in their top 4. Yeah, Imogen Poots. And as you said, she is star of Kristen Stewart's The Chronology of Water.
That's
and her top 4 was revealed in a video where she is sitting beside Kristen Stewart and they're asked together. So maybe we'll call out Kristen Stewart's while we're at it. So let's have a look. All right. Kristen Stewart's top 4 is Lynn Ramsey's Morvern Caller. Speaking of Lynn Ramsey. Young Girl, Rebecca Miller's Angela. I talked about this video with Rebecca Miller.
Oh, very good.
Because I said, did you see Kristen Stewart named Angela as one of her 4 favorite films recently? Yeah. So that's funny. Okay. Poots, on the other hand. God, it's taken a while for Imogen Poots to give her top 4.
Are you watching the video as it's going
sorry,
on?
I didn't have this preloaded.
You had Zach Braff loaded and Lewis Pullman.
Is Imogen Poots actually gonna name her top 4? Oh, here we go. I've got it. Sorry, folks. All right, we have got. All right, one of these you're not gonna get. This is a movie from like 3 years ago.
Is this the one I'm not gonna get? No.
Yeah, you're not gonna get 2. You're not gonna get any of these.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
All right, we'll start with the easy one.
Yeah.
Easy. First one is a great American director and actor. We talked about him on the show a few months ago. He mostly is a director, but an actor as well. Mm-hmm. His movies are long and weird and shaggy and very different. Cassavetes. This is one of his big movies. Starring Gina Rowlands and himself.
I'll let you give me the name.
Opening Night.
Okay.
And then her other 2 favorite films are Rotting in the Sun,
which
is I think a Norwegian film that was released 2 years ago.
Sure.
And An Angel at My Table, and I can't remember what that is.
Gotcha.
There's your Letterboxd top 4 for Imogen Poots.
Thank you, Imogen Poots.
Thanks, Imogen Poots. You know what, Imogen Poots, your taste is specific, and I respect that.
Friend of the show.
Of the show, Imogen Poots. All right. You want to give me the highest grossing films of 1973?
I do.
We'll wrap this up. We're at 49 minutes.
Number 1. It's scary.
The Exorcist?
The Exorcist.
Never seen it.
This film sold 109 million tickets.
Yeah. Well, The Exorcist would be in the all-time adjusted for inflation list for sure.
Oh yeah.
Everyone had Exorcist fever.
Yeah, and that was a St. Stephen's Day release.
Yeah, starring the world's biggest movie star, Ellen Burstyn.
And number 2 was a Christmas Day release.
Okay, in 93. It's 73.
Yeah, 73.
Right, I don't know. I need clues for all of these.
I think we covered the lead of this. One of the great
Diane Keaton?
actors. No.
Woody Allen?
No.
Peter O'Toole? Peter Sellers?
I'm forgetting which one it is.
Who were the other 70s boys?
Oh, no. Letterboxd search feature is struggling. Yeah, he sorry, this is a boy party. We could have done this.
This is a boy party.
Yeah, starring 2.
Is it a comedy?
No, more of a heist thing, I guess.
Okay, interesting.
The tagline is, all it takes is a little confidence. You've given this 4 stars. Let's see what your review says of this.
Oh, this is The Sting.
Some very sexy boys doing crime.
The Sting. Not to be confused with Sting, the Spider movie. No. The Sting. It's Robert and Paul, and it is. It features the music. In every single scene.
Oh, no way.
That one Best Picture. George Roy Hill.
Yeah.
Great.
You saw us in the IFI 2 years ago?
With Katie Brady. Yep. Very nice afternoon.
Next up has a country's name in it.
America.
American something.
American something in 1973.
Yeah.
American Graffiti.
Yes.
George Lucas directed that.
GL.
One of his only non-Star Wars films.
Starring Richard Dreyfuss.
And Ron Howard.
Wonderful. We'll talk about him soon.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a film I will probably never watch.
Yeah.
Annoying little boys driving around, hollering at girls at the window of their car type shit. Sitting in the diner throwing things at the waitresses. I'm not watching American Graffiti. American Graffiti. That's a good name, though.
A little bit. Yeah.
I think American Anything is a good name.
American Made.
There are no movies that start with the word American that are not. That's not a good title.
American Gangster.
We could be here all
History
day.
X.
Beauty.
Sniper.
Assassin.
Yeah.
In Paris.
Sure.
Yeah, they're all good.
Next up is a single word title film by Franklin J. Schaffner.
No, I need more than that.
You haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But it's a Steve McQueen, Dustin Hoffman film.
That movie is called Papillon.
Papillon.
I was sitting in a pub. I was sitting at the Harry Lemon.
Yeah.
And what would have been on TV, Up for the Match.
Yeah.
Was on. And then Up for the Match ended. And a film came on, and I missed the credits. And I was sitting there staring at it, trying to figure out what it was. I was like, what is this 70s film? Because it wasn't showing the lead actors. And then it cut to a close-up of Dustin Hoffman's face, and I was like, it's Papillon! Now, can you tell me who starred in the remake of Papillon about 5 years ago?
Oh, I have no idea.
I'd love you to figure this out.
What's the name of the...
Pillion is the new movie.
Pillion, okay.
Yeah.
I was like...
Guess who was in the Papillon remake as the Hoffman McQueen characters? Current day leading men. This is a fun one.
It wasn't like Affleck, Damon.
Way down. One is an
down.
Oscar winner.
Okay.
And then one is like a
like
guy.
a Oscar winner in the last 20 years?
Yes. These are both guys in their 40s. Early 40s.
Guys in their 40s with Oscars.
These are like C-list guys in their early 40s, one of whom has an Oscar, despite being a C-lister. A lead actor Oscar.
A lead actor Oscar?
We could be here all day.
All right, just tell me.
Rami Malek.
Oh, Rami Malek.
And Charlie Hunnam.
Sure.
See,
indeed.
Papillon.
All right, and we'll give you number 5 for the year. This is the Sidney Pollack film of the year.
Right. Is it
I think
Redford?
we watched the trailer of this recently.
Is Redford
it is Redford and Barbara Streisand.
Oh, The Way We Were. I just watched this period recently when he died.
Yes, you did. Yeah. Sorry,
right.
I don't watch the trailer. I was just in the room when you were looking.
Cheeseball nonsense.
Yeah.
Great song, though. All right. That's all. That's the show. We're done. We're leaving.
Badlands.
Tune in next week. Oh, sorry. Need to mention 2 things very, very quick.
Yep.
Bruce Springsteen in the film Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, is shown watching Badlands on television.
Yep.
And it directly inspired him to write the famous Bruce Springsteen song, Badlands. So if you want to see Badlands footage in the cinemas right now, run to your local...
Run to any cinema.
You know something funny? There has been a few weeks there where you could go to see 2 different films where Sissy Spacek would appear. That's fun. And secondly, the movie Predator Badlands is currently out in cinemas. And I did see a funny meme that was...
This could be considered Predator Badlands a little bit.
It could be. Yeah, the age gap. Yeah. Well, I did see a very funny meme, which was Springsteen on the left side and Predator Badlands on the right side. And it was like double bill Springsteen Badlands.
Yeah.
That is funny. Okay, that's all. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. We'll be back next week with episode 99. And then we'll be on episode 100. The final 3 episodes of the 25 for 25 are coming up. We just did number 4 for Lady Bird. Visit boypartypod.com for the latest episodes. Boy Party Pod on Instagram and Blue Sky. Thank you so much for tuning in. Get home safe. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.